Hello, fellow YouTubers, truth seekers, and Mandela affected. I'm Darkwolf, and this is Darkwolf's Den. I'd like to welcome everybody tonight, or today, or this morning, or this evening, or whatever it may be, wherever you are, whenever you are listening. Anyway, it seems they've left the door open, so while the vault's open, we can talk. So I found this really neat news article the other day, guys. Breaking news. Check this out. So for years, conspiracy theorists have told us that the age of mankind is completely wrong. That they've got the number system all off. That we're much older than what we're being told. Well, it turns out that could be very true. The Jebel Erud site in Morocco, there were some fossils discovered, and these are the oldest known remains of any Homo sapien. This literally rewrites mankind's origins and suggests that our species evolved in multiple locations across the African continent. We did not evolve from a single cradle of mankind somewhere in East Africa, said Philip Gunz, a paleontologist at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology in Leipzig, Germany, and co-authored 2 new studies of the fossils published in the journal Nature. We evolved on the African continent. Until now, the only oldest known fossils of our species dated back just some 195,000 years ago. The Moroccan fossils, by contrast, are roughly 300,000 years older. 300,000 years old. So from 195,000 years to 300,000 years. So that's almost double what we've been being told for a long time. Remarkably, they indicate that earlier Homo sapiens had faces much like our own, although their brain differed in fundamental ways. Today, the closest living relatives to Homo sapiens are chimpanzees and bonobos. With them we share a common ancestor that lived over 6 million years ago. After the split from this ancestor, our ancient forebears evolved into many different species known as hominins. For millions of years, hominids remained very ape-like. They were short, had small brains, and could fashion only crude stone tools. Until now, the oldest fossils that clearly belong to Homo sapiens were discovered in Ethiopia in 2003. Researchers at a site called Herto discovered a skull estimated to be between 160,000 and 154,000 years old. So up to 160,000 years old was the oldest they could place us. And now it's up to 300,000 years old. A pair of partial skulls from another site, Omokabish, dated from around 195,000 years of age at the time, making these the oldest fossils of our species. That was in 2003. That was 14 years ago. So in 14 years we haven't found any more information until now. Finding such of these suggests that our species evolved in a small region, perhaps Ethiopia or nearby Africa. After Homo sapiens arose, researchers believe the species spread out across the continent. This here is a picture of the actual jaw piece from this find that we are discussing. It's a little different than the normal jaw. It doesn't have a bottom jawbone on this one, but the normal jaw that you would normally see. Paleontologists are aware of mysterious hominid fossils discovered in other parts of Africa that did not seem to fit the narrative also. Because in 1961, miners in Morocco dug up a few pieces of a skull at a site called Jebel Erud. Later, diggers revealed a few more bones along with flint blades. Using crude techniques, researchers estimated the remains to be 40,000 years old. In the 80s, however, a paleontologist named Jean-Jacques Hublin took a closer look at one jawbone. The teeth bore some resemblance to those living creatures, those living humans, on a desert hillside at Jebel Erud. They found a wealth, to those of living humans. The teeth bear similar resemblance to those of living humans, but the shape seems strangely primitive. It does not make sense, Dr. Hublin said. Since 2004, him and his colleagues have been working through layers of rocks on a desert hillside at Jebel Erud. They have found a wealth of fossils, including skull bones, and from 5,000 who all died at the exact same time. Resetting on the clock on man's debut would be an achievement enough, but new research is also notable for the discovery of several early humans rather than just one, as so often happens. The face is that of somebody you could come across in Metro, he said. Dr. Hublin said. The flattened faces of early Homo sapiens may have been something to do with the advent of speech, speculated one scientist, or paleontologist, Christopher Stringer. We really are at early stages of trying to develop these things and explain them. We have no other place like it, so it's a fabulous finding. Dr. Gunz at the Max Planck Institute said that the human brain may have become rounder at a later phase of evolution, and two regions in the back of the brain appear to have become enlarged over thousands of years in comparison to the site at Jebel Arud and the full skull actually found. Oh, wow. I think that we see reflective adaptive changes in the way the brain functions, he said. Still, he added, no one knows how a rounder brain changed how we think. So this is a report put out from many different news agencies have picked it up and carried it. I hope everyone goes and takes a look at this. In short, the conspiracy theorists have been right all these years. The numbers that science give us for the age of mankind is completely wrong. And now we're finding more and more evidence in archaeological sites and ancient sites. Ancient structures we're digging up more and more every day. And now we've actually found bones to prove that humankind is much, much older than was ever suspected. So I hope you guys take this information, run with it, and oh no, they're closing the vault again. Guys,